What's going on, everybody? This is dkdynamite, and today what I have for you guys is a pretty chill video to start off this week. This is actually going to be my last week of winter break before I go back to uni next week on the 28th. And in the background we have some hardcore Barebones gameplay, and that means no specialist, no stim shot, no armor, just pure Call of Duty. So definitely enjoy the gameplay. I think I drop around 80 kills total here in this match of firing range, and I'll put in some other clips throughout the rest of the gameplay as well. It was really fun. And again, this is pretty much core Call of Duty multiplayer right here, right? None of the BS that most people don't like within Black Ops 4. And I believe this game mode is going to be going away at some point this week, so we'll end up seeing what Treyarch replaces it with, and I'll keep you guys updated here on the channel. But in terms of more updates for Black Ops 4, this is something I wanted to go into within today's video, and honestly, I get the feeling that we'll probably get more updates in Black Ops 4 as we get closer to Black Ops 5's release. And you guys are probably wondering, well, why is that the case? And if you guys might remember, during Black Ops 3 Year 3, this is when World War II was in full effect, there were a number of updates that dropped in Black Ops 3 that were essentially acting as a beta for Black Ops 4. And if you guys don't know what I mean, I'm talking about those mini operations where we saw these weather dynamic maps, right? We had Nightfall Fringe, Redwood Snow, and some other ones as well. We started getting that. We started getting some new type of customization options within these mini operations, and it was essentially serving as a small beta for features we would see in Black Ops 4. And Treyarch even made that clear years and years ago that they were dropping things in Black Ops 3 to see the community's reaction so they can know what to do within the next game. And I think that was probably the smartest route to go, since Activision kind of threw Battle Royale, right under their desk and was like, you gotta do this, you gotta do that. And they had to really adopt this battle pass system with weekly updates, roadmaps, and all these other crazy features. So I think it was smart dropping a couple of things within Black Ops 3. So in terms of what's gonna be dropping in Black Ops 5, I feel like some of those things are probably gonna be dropped in Black Ops 4 at some point closer to the summer to kind of get us prepared for what's to come in their next game. And that leads me to the next point, which I've talked about before, and it's that blank slot in the actual in-game store for Black Ops 4. And I'm aware that if you don't own the Black Ops Pass, that's what pops up, but I think if you do own the Black Ops Pass, that slot will always be empty, so there is a good chance that we'll see something similar to DLC 6, the Back in Black pack from Black Ops 3, and we'll see something like that added into Black Ops 4. Could even be some maps that will be in Black Ops 5 that are put in Black Ops 4 early, and both games are going to be boots on the ground no matter what, so I think that would work perfectly fine. Whereas with Back in Black, it was a bit weird seeing some of those classic maps from Black Ops 1 put into Black Ops 3, allowing us to use our advanced movement to get around, and those maps were then put in Black Ops 4 anyway, right? We had Firing Range, Slums, Summit, and Jungle, and coincidentally, you're seeing some Firing Range gameplay in the background too, so we'll just have to wait and see how that works. But I am hopeful that Treyarch will drop a couple of teases and surprises for Black Ops 5 in Black Ops 4 at some point in the next few months. And it reminds me too of some of the teasers they did back in the day within Black Ops 1 and 2, right? To tease the next game, they would drop little hints and Snapchat codes and all types of weird teasers and ciphers in some of their older Call of Duties that tease the next game. So hopefully we see more stuff like that, in the next couple of months or so as we get closer to Treyarch's COD 2020. Now, as I've also made clear in the past too, I didn't play much of Black Ops 4 multiplayer during year 1. I think it was mainly because I played a lot of Black Ops 3 multiplayer for nearly 3 years straight. And yeah, I took a break to try Infinite Warfare once or twice. I then took a break for maybe a couple of months to play World War II while that game was hot. But for the most part, I was playing a lot of Black Ops 3, and when Black Ops 4 multiplayer came out, it just felt like the same type of experience, just without the advanced movement. And I wasn't a fan of most of the maps that's in this game. Some of the DLC ones are a bit stronger than others, but besides that, I was just so invested in Blackout. It was something new for the Call of Duty franchise. I was never a big Battle Royale fan, but the way Treyarch did it, in my opinion, was phenomenal. And Treyarch has enough lore they can explore, right, with Blackout by putting in zombies things, campaign things, specialist things, and I think that's what really drew me to Blackout. It's that there's so much content in the Treyarch Call of Duty universe that they can make a truly great Battle Royale. So I was really invested in that, and obviously I was invested in zombies most of the time as well, so I didn't really have much time for multiplayer. But I think as of right now, it just doesn't feel like there is a new Call of Duty this year, and that's just how much I don't like Modern Modern Warfare, and many people out there would agree as well. And you've probably seen out there in the community, even if you like Modern Warfare, you could see a majority of multiplayer content creators and Twitch streamers all went back to Black Ops 4 or some other COD entirely, and that tells you something, right? Not only is the game underperforming on YouTube, but people just aren't enjoying it. So let's say Modern Warfare did perform well on YouTube, people were getting some really good numbers all across the board. The game just isn't appealing to too many people, and people aren't enjoying making content for it. Many members of the Carnage clan, anybody left in the esports community, from the OG days, they're making it clear that they're not really enjoying the game, right? I know esports is changing quite a bit with Call of Duty 2019, right? And the new structure that World League's gonna have across the board. It's a bit different, and I think for Modern Warfare not to be a game that people are enjoying, it makes that transition to this new esports system a lot more difficult, and I'm sure many of you guys agree with that as well. But if the Battle Royale comes out and I enjoy it, I'll try to make content for it here on the channel. But as of right now, it just seems like we're kind of just laying back, relaxing, making videos about things that haven't been covered yet, the latest news and leaks, and being hopeful for Black Ops 5 while just sitting back and playing Black Ops 4, right? Not much is really going on, but as I've also said in streams, right, I do miss doing guides and tutorials and the latest news and trailer reactions. I do miss all that, but we're not that far away from that. We're less than a year away from the release of Black Ops 5, so we'll be in that feeling and in that zone very, very soon. But in terms of Black Ops 5 and that multiplayer experience, I talked about this briefly during some recent videos, and I honestly think Black Ops 5 multiplayer is going to be as bare bones as you can get. So even more bare bones than Black Ops 4 hardcore bare bones playlist, as you can see. I think it'll be stripped down to the basics, probably more on par with Black Ops 1, which I'm perfectly fine with, because if that's the case, they can focus on so many other things instead of advanced movement or instead of these complex maps. I think if you go back to the Black Ops 1 style of multiplayer, people will really fall in love with that again, and I think it'll just create that addiction, that adrenaline rush when playing multiplayer. I think Black Ops 1 really nailed it, and I think most people can agree Black Ops 2 also nailed it. So if you go around to that era and stick with that style of multiplayer, I think that'll be perfect for the community going forward. And it's also good because it essentially fixes all of the quote-unquote problems that Modern Warfare has created, right? No mini-maps, skill-based matchmaking, weird map design, too big of maps, right? Weird game modes. I think if you go back to the Black Ops 1 and 2 era for multiplayer, it'll please everybody. And I think, there is a chance that the esports community can be, as impressed as they were with Black Ops 2 League play, if they do something similar in the next Call of Duty. And I'm really hopeful they do that, because I think if you go back to the basics, right, and you even introduce party modes permanently from release, right, you got Sticks and Stones, Gun Game, One in the Chamber, if you put modes like that, at release, I think that'll really appeal to a lot of people, right? It's helpful for casuals, and there's so many ways you can appeal to casuals and introduce new players without forcing skill-based matchmaking and these awful mechanics down people's throats, right? Just have dedicated playlists for dedicated parts of the community, and boom, you're all set. I don't know why Infinity Ward decided to go a different route with Modern Warfare, but I'm certainly hopeful that Treyarch will go back to the traditional route and just have playlists for certain groups of people. And aside from that, I am hopeful that one day we do see that COD point system from Black Ops 1 also return. Maybe they can't do it for the party modes because of quote-unquote gambling, even though it's not real currency, but they could still introduce something like that where you can buy all of your items in the create a class menu using those points. I really like that system a lot. They never brought it back, but maybe they just legally can't. But if they could, it would be great to see that again. But overall, when it comes to Black Ops 4, I did make it a goal to at least accomplish something big in each mode, and I feel like I did, right? With multiplayer, I did play it here and there through the DLC updates. I gave it a chance. I provided constructive criticism to everybody out there, about how I felt with the multiplayer. I did go to CWO Anaheim for Black Ops 4, and it was a blast. Fantastic vacation. With Blackout, I did get Dark Matter. I've gotten some great gameplays, met some phenomenal people along the way, did all the characters, went for all the trophies. It's been a wild ride. I love Blackout within Black Ops 4. And then for Zombies, we got 2 First in the Worlds. I've played the shit out of it, love the storyline, have kept up with it ever since World at War, and obviously we've been covering it ever since. But let me know what you think of that down below in the comments, right? Are you guys still playing Black Ops 4 multiplayer? Have you moved on to other games? Are you just awaiting Black Ops 5? Or are you sticking through with Modern Warfare and trying to give that game a chance, even if a majority agree the game really isn't enjoyable? But let me know all your thoughts down below. This has been dkdynamite, and peace out, everyone.